So I guess I should explain what I'm doing here. I had the idea to build a tiny house with a farm because if you don't know, if you don't have tiny living, there are like different levels of tiny homes based on how many tiles you have in your house. And at the smallest level of tiny home, you get a bunch of like bonuses to skilled building and farming. So I was like, hello, why haven't I built a farm with these great bonuses? So I built this little house. It has 2 bedrooms and it's actually pretty nice on the inside. And I was able to get a cow, or you could put a llama there, and chickens, dog training equipment. So 3 different animals there. And obviously I was able to get in a big area for planting stuff, since that was kind of the point of why I was doing this, because I want a lot of space for plants. And can I just say, the plants are fenced in, the cow/llama is fenced in, but the chickens are not fenced in. And I know some people are gonna be like, ooh, that's bad. But I live in a farming town, and let me tell you, these people do not fence their chickens in. Like, you'll be taking a walk or driving your car, and there'll just be a chicken crossing the road. I thought this was like a joke. Why did the chicken cross the road? Apparently the chicken crossed the road because it wasn't fenced in. I want to apologize because I don't know how much this house ended up being. You can see how much money I have right now, like 18,000, but you could see in the beginning I had like 70,000. I had a lot of money because I bulldozed the old house that was here, and I was just like going along building, and then I was like, wait, I don't need this much money for a tiny home. So I put it back down to 20,000, and I had a bunch of money left after I was done building, but I don't know how much this ended up costing. So we'll see at the end of the video, because I'm gonna do a little tour, and then we'll check when I upload this to the gallery how much money it cost. Also, how many packs I used. Wait, I don't know how many packs I used. I definitely used cottage living, duh. I think I used horse ranch. I used cats and dogs. So all of those are expansion packs. Did I use like a kit, like the plant kit maybe? I think I used Love Struck or University because I wanted a shower for the 2-tile bathroom. Because you can put like, you can kind of scoot a toilet into the wall and then kind of scoot a sink into the wall. But if you want a shower, you're gonna need one of those that you can walk over. And those are in University, Love Struck, and then there's one in, which one is it? Oh, Snowy Escape has one. I want to do another base game house, but I think I'm gonna wait until the big base game update comes out. If you didn't watch the Behind the Sims video, you may not know. Like, a lot of Sims players don't keep up with Sims news, which will always surprise me because I live and breathe The Sims, but obviously not everyone can do that because not everybody is a loser. Not everybody's a loser. So that's just me. But I will tell you, the Sims team announced that they're going to be doing a huge base game update, and we're going to get a new kitchen set, a bunch of new swatches, new doors, new windows, and probably some other stuff that they didn't even announce. So I would really like to do a base game build with all of that new stuff when that update comes out. I personally do have a bunch of Sims packs, not because I'm rich, but just because I make bad financial decisions, and The Sims 4 is sort of my special interest. Yeah, I'm autistic, which doesn't mean you make bad financial decisions, but it sort of adds to why I do. But not all autistics are bad with money. It's just sort of a me autism thing. And also some other autistic people that I know. Autistic thing. I'm seeing that table and chairs and it is so ugly, and I just want to say for the record, those are fully intended to be placeholder furniture, okay? I was not gonna put those like that in this house. Don't judge me for decisions that I've not actually made. Okay, speaking of autism though, I went thrifting like really recently, and I was sitting in the cafe of the thrift store, because yeah, the thrift store is fancy like that. They have their own cafe that donates to charity, and me and my mom were like sitting there, and then I saw this guy walking by, and I immediately like clocked, oh, that man, he is autistic. Well, I say man, but he's probably like the same age as me, or he was like a year or two older, and I'm 18, so. And I was like poking my mom, and I was like, mom, he's autistic. And mom's like, if you're so excited about that, why don't you just say hi to him? And I'm like, are you crazy? Me say hi to someone? But he did end up saying hi to me. And the thing is, I don't get to talk to autistic people that often because, you know, not many people are autistic. But it's fun to talk to autistic people when I get to, because the flow of the conversation is so much more natural to me. When I talk to non-autistic people, I have to try so hard to have a conversation with them. But with this autistic guy, it was so easy because he was like, what's your name? And I'd say my name, and then he'd say his name, and then he'd be like, what were you doing earlier today? And I'd say, and he'd be like, okay, and just like accept my answer. And then he'd ask me something else and I'd answer it, and it would be so simple. He had the simplest questions and I could answer it with the simplest things, and then I would ask him a simple question and then he would answer it in the most simple way. You might be thinking to yourself, yeah, isn't that how every conversation goes? But if you're not autistic, you probably don't get it. It's just so different to talk to someone who is also autistic compared to someone who is not autistic. It's such a big difference, and it's really nice to be able to talk to someone who is autistic like me. Don't worry, I'm done talking about autism now. I got it out of my system. Honestly, okay, speaking about the thrift store is amazing. When you go to the thrift store, always check the shoes. Always check the shoes. Maybe you're thinking, oh, they won't have my size. Oh, it's just going to be somebody's old stinky shoes. No. The thrift store close to me, it is so amazing. Okay, it's not that close, but like closest, biggest thrift store. It is so amazing. I go check the shoes, designer shoes every single time. And they always have like at least a few that are in my size. Literally last time I went, I found these designer shoes. Okay, maybe not designer, but like big brand, which I never get to wear. Like the only big brand that I've worn has been like Timberlands, like Timberland shoes. That's the only thing that I've had. So I checked online, like after I tried them on and I was like, oh, I really, really like these. I was like, what's this brand? I looked it up. It's like some designer brand from some other country. And I was like, what does this mean? Like, what's this money thing? And I looked it up and I turned it into like my money is. And let me tell you, for you Americans, $100. Okay, for me, 1,000 Swedish krona. Absolutely, I was losing it. I was looking around like, is anybody else seeing this? But I was looking at them and they didn't have a price tag. So I was like, huh. So I went to my mom and she was like, oh, just ask an employee. So I went to an employee and I was like, what's the price on this? With my mom like right behind me supporting me because I have such bad social anxiety. Like I kept trying to walk up to them by myself, but then the weirdest thing was happening. I kept turning around. So I walk up to them with my mom right behind me and I'm like, what's the price on these? I don't see the price tag. And they were like, oh, that's a mistake. Those aren't supposed to be on the shelf. And that wasn't one of the prepared things in my brain. I didn't have anything to say to that. So I was like, oh, what? And then she took the shoes out of my hands. She just took them. But luckily they did put them back on the shelves. I don't know what the issue was, but they put them back on the shelves and my mom went and bought them. It cost her $6. Moral of the story, always check the shoes. Should I not be talking about the build that's literally right in front of you? Honestly, when I build in The Sims 4 in the beginning, I'm like, oh, this is so fun. Oh, I love this idea. And then when I'm halfway through the build, I always end up getting just like this wave of, I don't know what it is. I'm just so upset by it all of a sudden. I'm like, this is ugly. Everything sucks. I don't know what it is. I don't know how to keep up the motivation to finish the build. Luckily, this one, because it's a tiny home and like a little bit of a smaller lot, I guess, it didn't take so long. So I wasn't able to really get to that, oh, I hate this state of mind. But I think I still kind of got there at the end. But like, it doesn't suck. But every time I look at something that I've done, I always think that it's ugly. And now I can't tell if it actually is a little bit ugly or if my brain just thinks that everything that I make is ugly. I wish I'd done a little bit more with the landscaping for this build, I think. Like maybe I could have tapped into debug, live edit objects and used plants that are like around in the world that you don't have access to normally in the build catalog. Like maybe I could have done that. Maybe I could have gotten a little bit more creative. But I have been so low energy recently. I've been trying to like work out because people are like, that gives you energy. But I'm not feeling it. I just feel sore. Like I'm even more tired now. I don't know what to do. Maybe I need to go outside more, like touch grass. Well, the grass is covered in snow now, so I'd probably have to dig a bit before I can touch the grass, and then the grass would be frozen and dead anyway. Maybe I should go outside and touch some snow. Maybe that would be good for me. Seriously, all I touch is my keyboard and my phone screen. And my hamster, if she lets me pet her, but she's kind of a diva. She doesn't like people touching her. Sometimes I pet her and then she goes to her sand bath to clean herself off immediately. And it's like, I washed my hands. I'm not that dirty. Like that's rude. Can't you see how that's rude? I love hamsters. I've been obsessed with hamsters ever since I was like 4 years old. And I asked my mom to get me like those little robotic hamsters. They were called Suzus, if anyone remembers Zuzu pets. I asked her to get me those for Christmas. She gave me 2, a pink one and a purple one. I called the pink one Princess and I called the purple one Purple, but in Swedish because I'm really creative like that. And they had a forbidden romance and it was all very dramatic, and I loved playing with these hamsters, these little robotic hamsters, so much. But obviously at one point I got kind of tired of playing with robotic hamsters and I was like, Mom, when am I gonna get a real hamster? And she was like, you can get a real hamster when you're a responsible adult. And look at me now. I'm an adult and I'm not responsible and I have a hamster. I wish hamsters in video games were better represented though, because I know that we have hamsters in The Sims 4, but I feel like I want to do an in-depth video about hamsters in The Sims 4 because they suck, because they're terrible. They're not like hamsters at all. I mean, the cage that they're in is absolutely crazy. I mean, it's not appropriate for a hamster at all. There's no place for them to burrow. There's basically no place for them to hide. Okay, I could rant about this for a very long time, but the video is kind of coming to an end. Like, I'm putting terrain paint around, and then I'm gonna put some lights around outdoors and stuff, and then I'm gonna give you a tour. I also did some play testing of this lot because it is a tiny home. I wanted to like make sure that everything worked, and I did have to move some stuff, like move the sink a little bit, but it is functional. So I did have the Sims that used to live in a big fancy house here test out everything in the tiny home. So it is functional. Huge news just dropped while I was making this video. The Sims 1 and Sims 2 Legacy Collections are out now. You haven't been able to play The Sims 1 and Sims 2 for years. You haven't been able to get them, and EA just re-released them. The price, let me say, it's actually worth it. So even though I have less than $1 in my bank account, I'm gonna figure out a way to get these and I'm gonna be playing them. So hopefully that's my next video. I'm lazy when it comes to editing, but this video here is almost done, the speed build, and I will be showing you a little tour of this house. And then next time you see me, hopefully I will be playing The Sims 2. Why is it literally 1 a.m. in the game right now? Are you serious? Great. Oh, my terrain paint is gone. Okay, literally give me one moment. This is actually so embarrassing to me. Okay, super quick tour. We have dog training equipment. You can walk through here. A lot of space to plant stuff. We got a little gnome animal shed, little space for the chickens, more planters at the front of the lot, 2 gnomes watching over your house, front door, walk into a little hallway dining space. It's a very small house, okay? We have the kitchen, and apparently I did not put a sink in this bathroom when I thought I did, but this is fine. You have a shower and a toilet, and you do have a mirror here. So that's something. And then we have the sort of main bedroom. Your sim can scoot over so it can sleep 2 sims here, but I wouldn't recommend trying to do that. It's kind of difficult. And then this could be for a guest or a roommate or a kid or whatever. I don't decide how you play The Sims. Boom, shortest tour in Sims history. I think it turned out pretty cute. Now that I'm really looking at it, I'm like, you know what? I think it's fine. Okay, time to see the damage when it comes to packs. Oh, only 5 packs. Okay. 4 expansion packs, 1 kit. That is decent. And it costs 19,000. So it's a starter home. You can find this on the gallery. My username is Nightblue. Go follow me, I guess. Subscribe to my channel. Like this video right now. I'm behind you. Stop. It's ugly. No, it's nice. What is that? Hyperpigmentation?